Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's such an honor to be here to speak to you this morning. I hope everybody got this little page I handed out. If you could go down to point 7, which talks about invoices, contracts, and agreements. You'll see there's highlighted in bold type, includes closed corporation buy-sell agreements. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about those today and why those matter. How many people are in business with somebody who's not their wife or husband, right? If you are in business with somebody who's not your wife or husband, you probably want to consider one of these. Now, what do buy-sell agreements deal with? Any guesses?
Buying and selling the business.
Buying and selling the business. And yeah, and what are the circumstances under which people might buy or sell their businesses? Dying, divorce, illness, bankruptcy. You wake up some morning and you can't stand the son of a bitch that's across from you. Right? Those are reasons for divorce, right? So here's the thing. You have to look at businesses like marriages, right? There are all kinds of reasons that marriages end. Now, what happens when marriages end and nobody plans for it? Well, it gets real messy, doesn't it? And what happens? It's a financial disaster. So essentially, like a marriage, a business, right, if it ends in a nasty way with death or bankruptcy or incapacity, illness, or you just can't stand that person anymore, it has disastrous consequences. And the reason why it has disastrous consequences is usually because they don't have a buy-sell agreement in place. So if you're interested in having people who either are close to you, working in a business with a partner, survive disasters like this, or if you yourself are in a business with someone else who's not your husband or wife, and you want the business to survive any of these disasters, you might consider a buy-sell agreement. Now, what do buy-sell agreements do? They basically set out, what are we going to do if something bad happens, or if something happens that we haven't really thought about. And I have to be candid, most entrepreneurs, when they start companies, they think they're immortal, and they think nothing bad is going to happen. And I'll give you the classic case. Two partners come in, they call themselves partners, because that's the only way they can think. They think they're equal partners, 50-50 partners. That's probably the most disastrous combination in business. Why? Because when somebody is a 50-50 partner, they can stop the business anytime. They just have to say, I object. In corporate terms, we call it a deadlock. When the corporation is deadlocked, it usually has to dissolve and liquidate. That's called a disaster, right? Because if you have a going concern and you suddenly have to take your going business and sell it off, pay all the creditors, that's a disaster, right? What's the biggest disaster? Usually it stops your income. Most people don't think about that. They go, really? That's going to affect my income? Yes, it is. You don't get any more money. You basically have to pay all the creditors and you're done. So I usually beg on my knees to have people not do 50-50 partnerships, interests, or corporate holdings, because it's usually a disaster. And everybody says, no, I'm strong as an ox, nothing bad's going to happen to me. And in many cases it doesn't. But here's the thing that most entrepreneurs do not foresee. 5 years later, they wake up someday and they look at their partner and go, I can't stand that person anymore. I don't want to be in the same room with that person. I want out. And I will guarantee